We start with the Bank of Ghana because it has maintained the policy rate at 14.5%. Now, this is the sixth time running since it took this decision. Already, economist and financial lecturer Lord Mensah says the current economic fundamentals warrant the preservation of the policy rate, of course, which is the rate at which the commercial banks borrow from the Bank of Ghana at 14.5%. The Bank of Ghana, for the second time running this year, kept the key lending rate unchanged. The MPC cited emerging short-term pressures from the rising crude oil prices, as well as direct and secondary price effects of the revenue measures in the 2021 budget as risk to the outlook. Dr. Mensah tells Joy Business that he's not surprised at all about the positioning of the Bank of Ghana.
Between 1963 to now, many businesses in Ghana, and I'm talking about big businesses in Ghana, have not bothered to do this re-registration. So what they are telling me is they've not also filed annual returns. And under the laws, I can go ahead and dissolve you. And that's what I want to do now. I want to kickstart that process of dissolving and taking dormant companies off my register. So if you know you are not dormant, if you know you are seriously doing business in Ghana, then please come and inform me whether you are still operating in Ghana by filing your annual return and your financial statement. If for any reason you haven't even done business since 1963 to date, no problem. We file.
Well, apologies there, that's a wrong insert. But of course, this particular move by the Bank of Ghana has some remit in terms of effects on the trading community. Let's now cross over to join the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, who joins us via Zoom to bring us his perspectives on how this impacts the lending power of traders. Doc, we're so grateful that you joined us.
So very much.
All right, so of course, the rate at which the BOG lends to banks has been maintained for the second time this year, the sixth time in record. How does this impact your lending power as traders?
Yeah, we normally want this exercise to manifest in the lending rates. And so if the base rate is maintained or even lowered, and it doesn't trickle down the commercial lending rate, then no work is done. The major worry of businesses today is cost of borrowing, and I think from the way things are, we are not finding solution to this, and that's why I will urge government to find some mechanism that can help the commercial rates to come down, especially when the base rates are relatively lower. It's not pulling down the commercial rates. It's not fair for the rates to be around 20, 22, 23, 26%. It's very high. If you compare it to our neighboring countries and the rest of the world, we are not competitive at all, and especially when we are even thinking about the continental free trade area. I think we'll be the last country to think about being relevant in the whole scheme of affairs of the continental free trade. So government should think seriously around this problem. Though we have liberalization of our economy, the Bank of Ghana is exercising the liberalization scheme on how to control the banks, but there should be some control systems in place also. Otherwise, we cannot just leave the banks to do whatever they want and then punish the business communities. It's not helping, and that's why we also are grateful the fact that government want to come out with the National Development Bank, so that interest rates will be subsidized for businesses. If government cannot control the banks, then that's the only alternative way they can service in this regard, and it should be done quickly also.
Well, Doc, we've also been engaging with the banking fraternity, and of course, one of the main issues that they often raise with us is the fact that the risk involved, especially within the span of traders, is so high. hence, most of these turnovers. In your view, how can we de-risk the market to ensure that lending rates are much more easier, access to credit actually is much more easier?
Yeah, what is the reason for saying that the risk factor? That's why they have the mechanism in place. So they have to stop those people who are risking for their business. That assessment, that reasoning is not fair for businesses. Otherwise, how are you passing on the negligence of the banks itself? The fact that they are not doing the necessary due diligences to make sure that the right people only source these loans, for them to spread unnecessary risk for all customers. Why don't they compensate those who pay their loans as against those who do not pay, who should be punished? But you can't lump us all together and then spread the risk to even the one who pay. There's no sense in that argument that they bring, and government should sit down with them and then other stakeholders so that we should know. Otherwise, it's a rip-off. The bank are taking undue advantage on the business community. There should be controls. The fact that we are in a liberal economy shouldn't mean that the financial sector, there shouldn't be any controls at all. For banks to rip us off. Other jurisdictions brought innovative systems to force the banks to loan money at affordable rates to the business community and the general citizens at large. And so there should be something that needs to be done in this regard, so that we can have our respite to do business and to make ourselves meaningful in the business. Because this time we don't do business in isolation.
Great.
We are doing this business globally.
Great.
And all other countries are coming. You see, our neighboring countries,
sure,
their interest rate hovers around 8%, 10%, and 12%, and ours is 26%. It means that we cannot do anything, and that's why we cry about unemployment and all this. Because businesses can naturally not thrive under such a condition.
Dr. Obin, we're so grateful that you joined us. He's the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association.